Hey there, Paul with Blackwater Honey Forge, and in this video we're going to be making a large batch sugar syrup mixing rig. So follow along and I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is Blackwater Honey Forge, named in part after the banks of the Blackwater River we live near in central New Hampshire, and after the master craftsmanship of honeybees. This is a place for learning, discussion, and to practice the art of beekeeping. Welcome to the journey. Be well and forge on. So what we're going to need is a drum of some kind. This is a 55-gallon plastic drum that I cut the top off of. I just took a jigsaw with a metal blade on it, sliced that off, and that worked really slick. So it can be metal, can be plastic, whatever, but you need your 55-gallon drum. I guess when I talk about, too, doing a large batch mixing rig, we're sideliners. It's a large batch for us, but we're not making 250 gallons at a time through a trash pump or anything to fill an entire tote. So that would be large. Maybe this is medium batch, but we'll call it large. This is the 45-gallon tank that I use for my feed rig that I have set up. This is actually a spare one that I have. So this is going to work perfect for making 45 gallons worth of sugar syrup at a time. So a couple of things you're going to need. You're going to need a submersible pump. This is a 1/4 horsepower submersible pump that sits almost totally flush to its draw area where it's drawing the liquid from. This will draw down to 1/8 of an inch. And the reason why that's important for this setup is because this rig is also going to be a dispensing rig as well. So when we're drawing down the sugar syrup and transferring it into this, we want to get as much out of this thing as possible because I don't want to have to lift up an extra 5 gallons in this big barrel and it's super cumbersome. So having a good draw point is really good. Everything we're using today is 1.5-inch pipe, and the big ticket items for this is you're going to need 3 90-degree elbows. I got an 1.5-inch main control valve. I got a 1-inch dispensing valve and some associated parts with that. So your T, a reduction down to 1 inch, and then eventually a hose connection as well. We'll show you what that's going to be. I already got all the pipe all pre-cut, so I'm going to go ahead and, unlike yesterday when I tried to do this video, I had actually forgotten to purchase some new PVC cement. My stuff was old and garbage, and I tried to make the video without any of this being cemented together. Stick around at the end of the video for the blooper of what took place on that. Lovely. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and get this all primed and cemented up, and I'll show you the finished unit and what it looks like when it's all together. All right, so here I am with the completed rig. I've given the PVC cement plenty of time to cure here, and pretty simple and straightforward. It's going to come up one side, across here, down the other, and the sweep on the 90-degree there is going to cause circulation inside the barrel. Now I already have 30 gallons of water in here. Technically 32 gallons with 200 pounds of sugar is going to give me my light sugar syrup that I'm going to be using a lot this year. That's at about 1.3 to 1. So 1.3 parts water to 1 part sugar. So that's going to be phenomenal as far as stimulating the bees and really helping them draw wax, draw comb, and keeping them stimulated. Now before making this, what I was doing in my 45-gallon tank is I was putting in the water and the sugar right in here and trying to mix it up manually with the drill. Now granted, that does work, but it beats the heck out of the inside of the tote, and it doesn't fully mix the sugar all the way either. So I ended up with a lot of settlement at the bottom, which was a pain, and also my feed pump hated that as well. You could hear it chewing on the sugar, which wasn't any good. So let me get this in the water. I'll get it turned on, and I'll show you what's going on with the different valves that are up here. And after I show you what's going on in this, I'm also going to show you about the discharge as far as filling up whatever you're using for a storage tank as well. So show you that in a minute. So it's a little hard to see because the water's so clear, but we get a nice whirlpool agitation. And as this is running, you'd be pouring in your bags of sugar, and it's going to agitate that and just constantly dissolve the sugar as you're adding it. So pretty simple and straightforward. Pretty much just run it until it's nice and diluted. Then let me go ahead and show you as far as the hose discharge. All right, so let's say this was 5 or 10 minutes later and all the sugar is all fully dissolved. It's pretty easy as far as just hooking up a hose. Now this is a pretty small hose. The flow rate's not bad out of it, but if you use a 3/4 inch hose, you're gonna get a much better flow rate. But this is still gonna be pretty adequate. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna get that in there so we don't make a giant mess. We're gonna go ahead and open up our discharge valve. And then as we close down our main throttle valve, instead of circulating back into the barrel, it's just gonna circulate up here and through the hose, which, as you can see, boom. So this would be your completed sugar syrup. And just run that till it's completely empty. Like I said, that pump goes down to 1/8 of an inch, so you're only left with maybe, if there's a gallon left in that bucket, I'd be surprised. It's probably closer to only like half a gallon. I'd probably transfer that to a 5-gallon bucket, transfer the 5-gallon bucket into here, trying to pour that into here, just gonna make a big mess. So really, hopefully this helps you out. If you end up deciding, if you end up deciding to make this for yourself, the pump, you can technically get cheaper ones at Harbor Freight. That one I do believe came from Tractor Supply back when I bought it. That pump cost me in the area of $80 or $90. All the piping, all said and done, probably cost me in the area of $40 or $50. The barrel I've already had for years, but back when I bought them, it was $26 from a local store. And this 45-gallon tub, the Chapin brand, it's okay. This first one leaks a little bit and it had a hole that got worn out in the bottom. Luckily it was under warranty and the company sent me a new one free of charge. But for a 45-gallon water storage tank, it was only about $100, which really for water storage tanks isn't that bad at all. So if it's something that you end up making, I hope it works out well for you. I think it's gonna work out really well for me. So until next time, be well, for John. Open up this valve here, and then as you do that, shut down this valve right here.